guess what? We've got the same problem to fix that we did last time. Let me just announce the dev stream. So basically, I don't T anymore, and that was a mistake. Make sure I'm where I think I am. Good. And I think the better way to do it, rather than T'ing at all, is to make the encoder have an output. To do that, I'm going to have to remember how I did outputs at all. Out H. Okay, so it takes presumably a port. I don't know why I say presumably when I could just check. iFace. It takes a port. Okay. So let's add to our encoder options. Out handler. Yes, wait for init. I was sitting here like, do I wait for init? Yes, the answer is yes. Output. Now, I think I just send this data through with no further thoughts. I just this dot out handler dot send. Yep. Because it really is just pass through. I'm just trying to think, like, do I need to do anything with it? Yes. I need to make sure that I'm only doing that on the correct track number. Well, it should figure out this type, right? It's not going to figure out this type. Okay, this won't compile yet because I'm not actually initializing it correctly, but I'm just want to see how close I am. Yep, 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 yep. This should say property output, yes. Okay. Okay, so user media encoder will have the thingy. So, better make sure that the encoder worker itself has those ports. That can just be a plain old channel. Maybe I actually want that to be on encode? No. For the time being, I can't think of a reason why I would want multiple, and it'll be easier to change that later than to try and anticipate it now. Not reverse. Okay, this should compile, but not even come anywhere close to working. I haven't actually done the thing yet. Okay, now to make it actually do the thing. So when user media encoder is set, user media encoder ready is set. That makes sense. Yeah, so this is going to have to change a lot. Because I specifically do not want to have this capture anymore. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. Let me just get rid of that so I don't screw myself up. So how does this get its input? Oh, I see. This will definitely need to be different. I estimate the chance of this working at 0 right now. I'm missing something, but I haven't quite figured out what. Like something just feels like it's wrong. Right, I should be sending this channel, but instead I've got some pipe that doesn't make any sense. Here we go, here we go. The way I designed this worker, which is not this. Yeah, that's just for that. There we go. I think this is actually going to be another case of just do the change and then do the change to the interface and then figure out how to implement it. So for input processing, going to move that into the basic option, so it has to be initialized with it. And then the input, this shouldn't be making a message channel, it should just be taking that as input now. That's still correct. This doesn't work this way anymore. I really need the user media encoder to be ready now. Output channel port 2. This no longer needs to be, there's no waiting here, because this is user media encoder ready anyway. That's the condition it's waiting for now. Okay, that's after setting the encoder to null, fine. this isn't right. I need to fix that. Well, need is a strong word, but I ought to fix that. My current prompt is an expressionist painting of a man with no eyes. I don't know why I did that. Let's go with a cubist painting of a man with no eyes. Man, that nose. I sure have a nose. It's going to just rebuild the same thing like 10 different times. Very stupid. This sure isn't cubism. Oh. Oh. Oh, of course. I removed cap because it wasn't there anymore, but then I just assumed it would still be there based on nothing. Yeah, so it's just that sample rate. Ooh, is it? Ooh, is it? Ooh, is it? Thought. User media capture? Yeah. Oops. Yeah. So there still is a capture, it's just not the capture I thought it was, and that looks like the only place where I was using that anyway. No, 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 no. I've made a terrible error. Because I'm the one setting that. Does this keep its capture? No. No, of course it doesn't. It doesn't even know that it exists. Okay, I'm just gonna have to keep it. I'm just gonna have to, like, have it here. I guess that would be a capture.capture, right? Okay. That should have been the only place that used the capture, but I do need to know what the sample rate is. Let's see how far I get this time. $375. This is so wacky. should be... So, like, the only reason this carries an audio context is so that you know what the sample rate of this capture is, because it's not an audio node. You have to build your own audio node around it. I'm somewhat flummoxed here. Improc audio. Yeah, so that is just for the sample rate. Okay, so there's just a couple places where the sample rate ends up sort of leaking through. So I really do just need to use the capture from the original audio thing. This would have been much easier to do with T, but I do think this is a better solution, even though it's a little bit convoluted. It's better because even though it's convoluted, it's better because even though it's convoluted, it guarantees that the same data is going to both places. I'm not counting on an external factor to make sure that they're the same. Like the crucial one comes first, and then it has to already go through the crucial one before the less crucial one. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, that feels like it could be progress. I find it highly unlikely that this is going to work, but it might. Anything's possible. Testing, testing. Oh, that's quite broken. So I've managed to break it everywhere. Off to a great start. No errors logged. No errors. Wow, it's totally broken with no errors logged. Default input certainly ought to be working. I'm just checking my like I'm checking the audio mixer to make sure that it is in fact getting input, and it is. In its own bizarre way, I think that the fact that I have made it fail made it fail in Chrome with the same issue as it was failing on Firefox is a good thing. So is it the case that it's like waiting for... No, it's only waiting for the primary data. Yeah, this should... This should be fine, question mark. I think this should be fine, question mark. Quite an oblique angle I'm at. I'm barely on camera. Let's do some good old-fashioned printf debugging. So it did at least make it that far. I'm not at all confident. Huh. Like audio encoding. Oh, wait, yeah. I would still complain about audio encoding functioning if it's not going through audio processing because I have dual EC. So it would have to get all the way through and then back again to do the echo canceled version. Very confusing. Let me... You know what? I'm going to check here. For it. Right, so it only waits for messages at all if it's supposed to. Yeah, and by default this doesn't send any message, so it's actually something else that's supposed to initialize it. Yeah, I guess I only did that between the browser thread and a worker, never between the... Okay, whatever. Should be fine since it's between two workers, so they both know whether they can be shared memory or not. It should be fine to not wait for that. I think. I hope. Because obviously if you do wait for that and nothing is sending that, then it's never going to send any data, and then we're stuck. And that would have exactly the effect that we just had. At present, the live version of Ennuicastr is not running a version of I never manage to finish sentences. My brain is cooked. I'm a little bit sick this week. The live version is not running like a branch. It's running just an old version because I screwed up the branch. So I would really like to get this fixed. Like I screwed up the main branch. Oh, okay. So far so good. Odd. So that suggests it maybe is going through once but not twice, like the echo canceled data isn't coming back. Which seems eminently likely. Yeah, that looks like the echo canceled data isn't coming back. Let's try and verify that theory. It's still a heck of a lot better than I was 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it just never received on the echo canceled track. Did it ever even create the echo canceled track? Did it attempt to? It's interesting. I don't quite see what I did that would have broken the like full loop. The relationship between these workers is now quite complicated because the input data goes into the encoder worker. It passes through the encoder worker into the processing worker. Yeah, never even created it. Into the processing worker, and then it passes, like the processing worker does the echo cancellation, and it passes the echo cancel data back into the encoding worker again. So it's like input, encoding, processing, back to encoding. I only mention all of that because it's sort of, you know, it's quite believable that I just botched that somewhere. I think it's only in the input in the input processing that it even attempts to send it out. Yeah. I wonder why the echo cancel data isn't going through. Send through the echo cancel track if we aren't using echo cancellation. Oh, wow. Off by one errors are pretty bad when the one is the difference between false and true. That's no Neanderthal. Gotta wait a while, make sure it's actually going through completely. Okay. Yeah, that was very stupid. That was literally just not instead of not. Good. Cache disabled. Testing. Damn, really? This is downright shocking, actually. Is it possible that I just didn't get it ignoring the cache fast enough and it is actually correct? It's just being doofusy? Ugh. I think the answer to is that possible is an emphatic no. Just to be clear, because I don't think that you're hearing it, I am hearing the Chrome data through, so it's just capture that's not working correctly on Firefox, which is exactly the same issue I was having before, which means I fixed nothing. I'm just not quite sure how I've managed to fix nothing. This is a bit frustrating because this was supposed to be like the it's annoying but it will definitely work fix, and it's not working. Like sometimes you do a quick fix that might work, but you know, if it doesn't work, oh well, it was quick. And then sometimes you're like, okay, I did this, you know, I need to like fix this right and take the time. So I went for the fix it right and take the time, but it didn't work. It's not receiving any data. There are two... Okay, the fact that there are two audio workflow processors is not in and of itself good or bad. So previously, I had thought that the issue was trying to capture twice on the same device. Now it just seems like audio capture isn't working. But that's particularly weird because that hasn't changed. Like, that's a library. Anything I can do to just verify that I am getting data feels utterly ridiculous. So the only create capture... Wow, there's no create capture in InProc at all? Oh, yeah, because it doesn't need my whole capturing framework, it just needs the rendered output. Fine. So yeah, audio captures my input, and output processing captures others' output. I'm positive that shared memory is working. I think that in this API, I provide no guarantee that if you pipe, you'll still get data messages. So this might be pointless, but I'm grasping at straws here. It is definitely getting Deddy. Deddy? It is definitely getting data. Wow. It is definitely getting data. Then what the heck happened? Where'd it go? Where'd my data go? I'm tired of being a Neanderthal. It's a relatively flat-faced animal. Cats have flat faces. Oh, that's real bad. That's just the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean, obviously other apes have flat faces. I think gorilla works pretty well. Where'd the data go? It almost has to be that pipe isn't working somehow. This is actually the correct way to do this, I think. I should say I'm not at all convinced that that is a correct thing I just did, or that it can work at all. Whee! Okay. Invalid transferable array. You know what, let's just not transfer it. I'm just going to do that. Given that I'm just testing something, I don't know why I'm getting so picky about transferring it, quote-unquote, correctly. Well, that upsets me. So there is something wrong with RT Ennui's implementation of pipe, presumably when using an audio worklet. Not RT Ennui, WeSound. WeSound's doing the actual thing. I wonder if I turn down the control net a bunch. No, surprisingly not that big of a difference on how much it conforms to horrendous prompts. Guess that would probably be handled in the actual, like in this code. Actually, no, I know that this part is working because I'm getting the data. So yeah, here's the standard pipe. If it can't do anything else, it literally just does exactly what I just did. if it's using an audio worklet, which I think is what this is, yes, then it sends an out command to it. By default, it doesn't even ask it to use shared memory. Is there some kind of like formatting difference that I made accidentally? I mean, I think that the format is literally just an array. It's pretty simple. Okay. This.out equals message.p. What? Okay. So it needs to get an out message in order to have any sort of output. Is it possible that I totally botched this? So like I'm doing the out on the initial initialization. And then I'm trying to, when you pipe, call out again. But I don't think that works. This posts it to the worker, not the worklet. Right. There is a worker and a worklet necessarily. Okay, when this gets an out message, yes, because this can actually have an array of them, which is why I don't need to T, because it can send them to any number of places. This is profoundly simple. I wonder if it is on this side. I think I have it set not to even... Yeah, because I think this pipe takes a shared option which defaults to false. Yeah. So this should be sending the same messages. Unless I've somehow botched that. Let me try this. If this works, then it should be that way, but it's not really a solution. Because the underlying bug shouldn't be there. But there's no reason for that not to use shared memory. It should be using shared memory. I think shared memory should be supported on both sides. I don't see why not. Zoo-do-do-do-do-do, no. Fascinating. So piping with audio worklet processor nodes is just not working. Oh, this is not the one I meant to be looking at. I know this worker is working because that's the only way we get data. Is it? Wait, what if I botched that somehow? What if I'm actually getting data directly from the worklet and the worker isn't doing anything? I know it sounds bizarre to have a worklet and a worker, but trust me, it's the right way to go. The worklets suck. I don't think I even have worklet.onMessage. No, I literally don't even care about the worklet's messages. I just tell it where to send its messages and call it a day. So what if basically it can't handle multiple channels even though it's supposed to? I'm not sure how I could screw that up if I wanted to, but what if I did? Because it is communicating via exactly the means that I'm trying to communicate with it, so what the heck is going on? Yeah, each receiver gets a separate buffer. And if you are not using shared, then it's just going to copy it, which is what it should. That's if you weren't going to share the memory, then it's going to copy it. I mean, I guess it's possible that I just am interpreting the messages wrong, that it is sending and I just am dumb. Yeah, because I just have an input handler, a generic input handler here. So I wonder if I'm getting a message I don't recognize and I just botched it. I'm not retrying anything on Chrome because Chrome is not even using the entire like subsystem, so it seems unlikely that it would break. I'm not getting any weird mystery messages, so I'm just not getting any messages at all, so it's just like not functioning in the slightest. This is too simple to fail. I literally just send out the port as P and shared. This is the wrong one. That's all good. And I know that it's receiving the data because the trivial method is working. Like when I just say on data, pass it through. Where the data go? Is it possible that there's something about like making a message channel and sending both ends to different workers? I don't see why. That would be a bizarre bug. That's like a pretty normal use case. I mean, I do feel like I'm closer here. I've narrowed down the bug quite precisely, but I haven't found it. Do I even have WeSound installed directly? No. WeSound is used by RT on Wii, so I had it installed via RT on Wii. I am not at all confident that this will actually use the WeSound version I just built. I'm not confident that it won't. This is the last check I'm going to do. Time for the dev hour to, well, it's been over an hour. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I don't think this actually went through at all. Right, it's... Oh, okay. It's part of a string. Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. Okay, actually, it's hard to tell whether it went... in that case, I'm just going to assume that it did and check if I get the messages instead. No, it definitely didn't go through because I would have at least gotten... Oh, well, I haven't even done this yet. Yeah, I would have at least gotten some message. Guess who has no idea what's going on? It's Yawweasel.